Hey, welcome everybody, welcome everybody, welcome everybody to the Dr. Jeff experience. And what's up? Yeah, okay, thank you. We want to talk to you tonight about some things that are going on, some things that taking place, and well, we got a lot to talk about. As you know, I am your candidate for Georgia's congressional 13th district, running for Congress to get there and do our part for the state of Georgia and the nation. And I don't know about you, but if you saw, if you saw that, if you saw last night State of the Union, um, we need to continue to pray for our nation. That's all I can say. So, look, while we're getting ready to go forward, I want you to tag someone, let them know that we are here tonight. You can join in through YouTube or LinkedIn Live if they don't have Facebook. But tonight we're going to be talking about working families matter. Working families matter. Working families matter. So go ahead and tag someone, get them on in here, let them know Dr. Jeff is live tonight. We're not going to take long, but there are some things that I want to talk to you about and I think are very important. Um, and it's all about some of the things that I want to express that I'd like to do on day one. On day one, you'll always hear me talking about day one ready because I believe that this this race, this primary race, all around the nation. I'm talking in particular about the 13th congressional seat, which the incumbent David Scott now holds. I believe that it's time for change, but I also believe that we ought to take care. And there's a post that's coming out that I'll do a video about that, and it's that we ought to respect our generals who have gone before us. In other words, those who have paved the way and made it even possible for people like myself and others in the race to even um, campaign and have this ability. So I want to honor them, and I think that we do an injustice to our generals, those men and women who have gone before us and served in public service, when we just try to kick them out to the curb and don't have a landing place for them because they're still viable people. They're still viable candidates that can serve in boards or leadership roles, mentorship roles to make sure that we always have a stable of well educated people who can step into the role on day one and and continue to make sure that they do legislation for a good locations, for good districts to serve the district that they're elected to. So that's my spiel about that. You'll hear more about that. But um, let's talk about what I'm planning to do on day one. On day one, and go ahead again. Tell some folks that we are live today. Go ahead and hit them up, and make sure you like and subscribe my page on YouTube, Facebook, on LinkedIn Live. We want to make sure that you are go ahead again. You are getting all of this information. You're getting it straight from the horse's mouth. I hate using that term, but it is what it is. I want you to hear it straight from me so that nobody can give you something that I didn't say. I'm giving it to you straight, uncut, no chasers, no filters. Um, if you know me, you know that's how I roll. So let's talk about what I'd like to do, and that's I believe that Georgia's 13th congressional district. That's what I'm running for. I believe that day one ought to be leadership with purpose. Um, I believe that our district, Georgia's 13th congressional district, it deserves leadership that is rooted in service, it's rooted in integrity, and measurable action. So, my decision, and I'm running for Congress because I believe that public office is not about power, it's about stewardship. And listen, if you got a comment tonight while we're live, just go ahead and put in your comment. It will show on our screen, and we'll be able to take you live and answer any questions you have, comments, or whatever. Just go ahead and put them in the chat, or put them in the comment section, and we'll get right to you. Brother Gilbert, I see you, man. God bless you. Good to have you, man. So again, I'm running for Congress because I believe public office is it's not about power. It's about stewardship, and stewardship requires accountability. That's what I believe. I've stood in hospital rooms praying with families in crisis. I've sat at tables negotiating solutions when tension was high and hope was low. I've served in law enforcement, ministry, community leadership, not from a distance, but on the front lines. And what life has taught me is this: policy is personal and service is sacred. When housing becomes unaffordable, that is not just an economic issue, it is a family stability at risk. When healthcare costs rise, that's not a statistic. That's someone deciding whether to fill a prescription or to pay a light bill. And there's too much of that going on now. When young people lack opportunity, that's not a talking point. That's a potential being delayed. Scripture reminds us that to whom much is given, much is required. And this district has been given tremendous growth, talent, and potential. And now it requires leadership that matches the moment. So here's what changes I'm wanting to do on day one. First, transparency. Transparency is big. You don't hear many people in public service talk about transparency, unfortunately. I'm going to launch a District 13 economic accountability dashboard. You'll see where federal dollars are allocated, how infrastructure funding is spent, how small businesses access grants, where housing and workforce investments are directed. Also, because I believe that light brings clarity, and clarity builds trust. If we cannot measure it, then we can't improve it. Second thing is, I want to talk about affordable housing. Within the first 30 days, I will convene a housing and home ownership task force. And what that focus will be on is first time home buyer pathways, rental stabilization, um, anti displacement planning. Uh, Too many people are just getting kicked out with no place to go. And for reasons that we can come to some type of agreement before displacement is the last hope. We'll deal with maximizing federal housing resources, which are plenty out there. You just have to have a mindset to help and find out what those resources are and bring it to the people. What I've learned is growth without affordability creates instability every time. And stability is the foundation of strong families. Third, I believe that small business, I'm going to bring about small business capital access. Now, I've been a small business person. My wife and I, we've had businesses over the years, and I understand what capital can do, or the lack of capital, what it can do to a small business. Economic opportunity, it must reach the storefront, not just major businesses. What I will do is expand microloan access, small business certification, and small business certification training. A lot of times, a lot of people think that they have a plan to go into business. And really, what they have is a hobby, and they can't transition from a hobby over to a small business. And it's probably a good hobby. And with the right training, it will become a good business, small business, and then growing into a medium or large business. But the one thing that I think is crucial in the success of a small business person is that small business certification training. Get certified and then have training behind you so that you understand about expenditures and budgets and all that kind of stuff. I want to deal with federal procurement readiness. I also believe that when local businesses thrive, our communities flourish. I can remember way back when, and many of you can also, when we had small businesses in the community, and they were the ones that funded all of the little league uniforms and equipment, baseball, basketballs, uniforms, football cleats, baseball spikes, um, tennis rackets, you name it. And small businesses were the backbones of those organizations, bands, floats, all that kind of stuff. I believe, and I know that you do too, that because when local businesses thrive, our communities flourish. Fourth, I believe um, it is important to deal with public safety and behavioral health, something that I truly know about. Safe communities, um, they're not built by enforcement alone. They're built by prevention, compassion, and coordination. And what I'll do is I will push for behavioral health professionals that are embedded within the police departments. We already have seen some departments that have behavioral health units that are all on all of the shifts that actually ride along with some of the police officers, or they are dispatched to calls that are dealing with mental health crisis, so that our police officers who don't have the particular training in that, um, they can have the help that is needed to de-escalate the situation. We will deal with expanded drug prevention and crisis programs. Fentanyl and all other drugs have killed our communities, and so many of us as parents and relatives have seen people who have become hooked on and have an addiction to drugs, and some of them have died. We want to expand drug prevention and crisis programs. Um, I know we can do it, and we will. I'm going to push for stronger reentry and workforce transition initiatives. Um, in my former role as a pastor, I've worked with reentry programs and workforce transition initiatives, and I've seen that people just need a hand. Um, I think the stat is 80% of all those who are incarcerated now will be coming home soon. So to cut down on prison recidivism, excuse me, what we can do is have and partner with stronger reentry and workforce transition initiatives. That's been my background, community partnerships. That's what I studied in school. That's what I put forth even before school, and that's what I've been doing since school. I also believe that justice and mercy are not opposites. They work together to strengthen communities. So we want to put forth justice and mercy. Fifth, I want to have accessible leadership. And that means quarterly in-person town halls across the district. That means monthly digital policy briefings. That means public Q&A forums, the same way we're online right now. I want to make sure that when I'm elected to Georgia's congressional 13th district, we will have public Q&A forums, monthly digital policy briefings. What I believe is representation should not be distant. Leadership should be present. The Bible teaches that a shepherd knows the voice of the people, and the people know the voice of the shepherd. I was always taught in ministry that uh, you should smell like sheep. As a leader, as a shepherd, you should smell like sheep. That's how close you are to them. Accessibility is not optional, it's a responsibility. Now, let's speak plainly about our economy. We hear that the numbers look strong, but if families in District 13 are choosing between rent and health care, then the data does not match daily reality. Job growth must become wage growth. Development must become ownership. And progress must become shared prosperity. After decades of the same leadership structures, we must ask this question: are we growing or are we just expanding? Public service was never meant to be permanent, it was meant to be purposeful. I'm not running against the person, I'm running against complacency. I'm running for transparency. I'm running for affordability. I'm running for access. I'm running for safety. I'm running for accountability. And I'm running because I believe leadership should reflect lived experience, moral conviction, and measurable results. Day one is not symbolic, it's structural. And with faith, discipline, and unity, we can build a district where opportunity is real, safety is strengthened, and families thrive. I'm ready to serve. Let's move forward together. I need you. I need your help. I need you to help me get there for us. We need your donations. We definitely need your donations. And I'm going to put up on the screen a place where you can donate. You can, if you go to my website, which is up right now, Dr. Jeff for district13.org. You can donate from there. Um, it will get to us, and I'll let you know what we need. We're not taking PAC money or APAC money or any big donors. We're not dealing with that. What we're doing is this is footwork. This is groundwork. We're in your face. We're going to be there, letting you know what we stand for and what do we need the money for. A lot of people always ask, well, you guys run for campaigns and you always ask for donations. What is that for? Well, let me tell you what that's for. And that's a good question. You should ask, what's the money for? I'll tell you what it's for. What it's for is for us to be able to pay volunteers. We'll be putting door hangers out. We'll be knocking on doors. We'll be making phone calls. We'll be shooting text out, emails. We'll be out in public. We'll have town halls. We'll have meet and greets where we have refreshments. Those things have to be paid for. And we want to make sure that those volunteers who are with us on a steady basis, that they get some type of incentive. They get paid for their services. So we need your help. $5, $10, $15. Listen, it all helps. It all helps. $10, we can go get a dozen donuts and we can help some folks when we have these little town halls, when we have these meet and greets, some coffee, some refreshments. That means a lot. We have to buy signs, we have to have airtime. This costs us money. So your donations help us tremendously. I get none of it. I'm not getting paid from your donations. Okay, so if you can help us out, $5, $10, you may think that it's nothing, but instead of getting that caramel macchiato, that matcha tea, or um, frappuccino macchiato, whatever, that $10 coffee, that cup. Listen, put that to the side just for a moment and donate to Dr. Jeff for district13.org, because what you're doing is you're investing in your future. Listen, I know people want to talk about my opponent and say this and say that. I'm not doing that. I'm glad that this gentleman has served and made it available for us to come in and run a campaign and just make it available for us. I'm proud of what he has done, but its time is up. I think he's been there too long. So you have a choice. You have a choice. May 19th, I think early voting starts in April. You have a choice. Somebody who's day one ready, someone who talks a good game, someone, well, it's your choice. I'm Dr. Jeff Montleroy, and I approve this message. And I want you to continue to watch and hear what's going on. We'll be in your neighborhoods. We've been in your neighborhoods, and we're going to continue to be in your neighborhoods. We're not just waiting to be elected to do work. Yes, we're campaigning, but we're also doing the work of service. That means, as a community partnership expert, I'm putting people together so that they can find out resources to help small businesses, nonprofits. Some elected officials have reached out to me, and I've helped them put together some things. In the faith institutions, I help churches build their ministries so that they can have impact on their communities. So this work is ongoing. This work is ongoing. So I'm depending on you. This is your choice. And I hope that I'm your choice for Georgia's 13th Congressional District. I thank you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'll see you next week. We're going to do another one of these with some things that I want to put forth. All right? God bless you. You take care of yourself now.